morning, everyone. It's an absolute honor to be speaking to such an illustrious gathering from every part of the country. Today, I'm going to be speaking about something that's very close to my heart. Hospitality projects is something that we design day in and day out, and many of them are fairly mundane and run-of-the-mill kind of stuff, which puts butter to our bread and food on the table. I'm going to speak about a project that in many ways summarizes what's happening in the in the hospitality industry today in a way that there is little metamorphosis happening all around us. And if you were to look at the hospitality industry, let's say 10 years back, hotels were quite in a way an island where you went in, you stayed there, you consumed your offering, you went home. We're looking at hotels which are kind of turning this internal view of itself over its head. And hotels that are starting to be bridges between communities, hotels that kind of question the notions of luxury and how you perceive space and engage with the larger community. And I remember this time when we just finished one of our first projects in the Maldives, and on one of those very rare occasions where the client's really happy, offered me a stay in a very beautiful hotel. Now, I can't remember the name of the hotel, but I remember the events that happened in that hotel. So I get picked up from the Malé airport, we get into the speedboat, and we land up at the jetty of this hotel. And this fairly good-looking man, Maldivian man, picks me up with his buggy, and he says hello to me, I say hello to him, and he addresses me by my first name, which is something that I absolutely love in hospitality, not being called sir or mister. So, given that this is quite unusual in the hospitality world, I said to him, how do you decide whom to call Mr. and whom to call by first name? And what he said to me is, I think, the fundamental basis of how hospitality is changing in the world, or it should be for me at least. He says, it's very intuitive. I look at the energy exchange between the guest and myself, and I decide whether he should be addressed with a Mr. or by first name. Now, that level of intuitiveness is what I see needs to happen in most of the hotels. And it's a very complicated process because either you have it or you don't. You can't induce that kind of sophistication or subtle sophistication in people. So a few years back, we involved in designing this rather very beautiful resort in Reis Magos in Goa, where I come from. And it's a hotel where our expertise extend way beyond the realms of design, which we, like I said before, do day in and day out. We wrote the brand for this hotel, a very holistic experience, one that bridges the hotel and the larger community. And the hotel happens to be in a little fishing village in the backwaters of the river Mandavi, a very beautiful site overlooking the ocean and the river. And the architecture, to be honest, is something that goes beyond architecture. It is a building block for engaging the larger neighborhood and creating authentic and deep and meaningful and impactful experiences like the one I had in Maldives. And not necessarily trying to keep the guests within the property, but as much sharing them with the world around. And many of us who familiar with Goa, you know that Goa you probably find more village taverns and bars than you would find at grocery stores. It's around every corner. And they all form their own identity. They have a community focus. Um, we feel, or we felt, that it's a great way to share the economic resources of this hotel with these smaller um, bars, which, in today's day are struggling. We created a hotel which is, let's say, I would like to call a productive landscape hotel. So there's nothing in the hotel which, a plant which does not do anything. It is, and you'll see in some of the further slides, it's every piece of available land cultivates something that either contributes to the hotel spatially, or it goes back into the kitchen, or forms a part of the decorative system. So the hotel engages clients on its pre-arrival, at the hotel, and post-stay. It's a beautiful site, nestled in a coconut grove, overlooking the ocean, like I said. I'm not going to spend too much time, but very deep analysis of the site and how to engage the building both with the larger views and with the site itself. And one of the signature things is, we've been to many hotels. Every hotel has a large spa, big facility. It consumes a lot of resources to keep that alive. And in this resort, we said, there's no need to have a building for a spa. You could have multiple locations within the property which are private, nestled within the landscape, to create a very memorable and a very narrative-driven experience like one of these. So you don't really have a spa, but you could have a treatment by the lake, or you could be up in one of the terraces, which is very secluded and private. Not every element of this resort can afford the views because of the nature of the site. So we created a little prawn farm within it, which in its visual impact becomes a space to look out at from the rooms, but it's also producing something that becomes a part of the food and beverage offering. The children engage in very nature-based sports, very sustainable. Like I was speaking earlier, it's a productive landscape. So every surface, whether it's horizontal or vertical, produces something that finds its way back into the kitchen. And no matter what kind of plant it is, they're all very beautiful, whether it's a cashew plantation, or it's a jackfruit, or it's just a herb wall. I personally have a very deep liking for greenhouses. It's something that deeply resonates with me. Yes, thank you. Yeah. And you see further on that most of the public spaces are actually greenhouses that contribute to the production of food elements. That's the all-day dining, which either completely opens and non-air conditioned, of course. That's one of the living rooms in the suites, the bedroom. Very honest and natural materials. The bathroom with a view to the ocean. And that's the swimming pool right on top of the hill. Our service is extended not just to the design of the physical space, but also the collaterals. For example, all the soaps in any hotel rooms is basically you open the packet, you use the soap, and you throw it away. And that, I believe, is such a waste. And in this one, the soap cover is actually a map of the neighborhood, which kind of leads you to secret F&B, local F&B outlets, which you can also double up as a fragrant bookmark. How you do the room collaterals in terms of your business cards. They're made out of rubber stamps. So it's very sustainable, very also designing the uniforms. And I think most of the hotels that we stay in, the uniforms could do with work to be more comfortable, could be more, in a way, a fashion statement that we all would like to buy. I think that's about it. I have another project, but that's for another time. Thank you so much, guys.